Hello, Latin 3. Today we are going to work on poem 8, okay? Don't be a fool. So Catullus, he is, this is kind of a funny poem because he's describing the effects of the broken heart and everything that's happened to him throughout his love affair with Lesbia. And this poem is written, like, if you see, like, the very first two words, miser Catulle, it's written to himself. So sometimes it can be a little bit tricky because you're like, who's he actually talking to here? But we'll go over all of that. Okay, so this is your last poem in the Catullus series, but it's one of the longer ones. As you see, it's 2 pages. And another thing about it is actually one that has a lot of different, the thing that makes this one difficult is like the verb tenses are kind of all over the place. So you have to really pay attention to your verb tenses, and I'll make sure to talk about that so that you don't make any mistakes. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get started. Miserable Catullus, cease to play the fool. Right, he's talking to himself right now, so he is using present tense. Okay, make sure you're looking at your notes at the bottom to help you guys with some of this interesting vocabulary. And that which you see to have perished, consider it completely lost. Okay, we have 2 infinitives here. Okay, your first infinitive, ineptire, present active. Okay, but here, perisse, perfect active. So it was a difference in miserable Catullus, cease to play the fool. That's happening right now. And that which you see to have perished, perfect tense, consider it completely lost. Okay, so he is kind of like giving himself a pep talk here. And in these lines is when he's going to recall the good times, right? And then he comes back to reality later on. Once bright suns shone for you. Once bright suns shone for you. And here we have an example, fulsere. Okay, fulsere is an example of that syncopation or syncope. Nope, that is spelled wrong. Syncope. Okay. When you were often going to where the girl was leading. When you were often going to where the girl was leading. Okay, so you see here that we have, we've moved from present tense to imperfect tense. Probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make in upper level Latin is they just kind of forget like what they know about lower level Latin, and they run over things like verb tense. Okay, so make sure you know. When you were often going to where the girl was leading. Remember this you here that he's talking to, that is Catullus. Right? Okay. No lover, female lover, right? Girlfriend, will be loved as much by us. No girlfriend will be loved as much by us. Okay, so here when we're talking about the girlfriend, this is Lesbia. This is Catullus. right? And one thing about this whole idea of the royal we, oftentimes authors will use this, they'll refer to themselves or someone as a we, but really it's only talking about a singular person, right? And so it's interesting because sometimes he refers to himself in the singular, but here he refers to himself in the plural. Then those, wrong color. Then those days were happening with much joking. Then those days were happening with much joking, which you were wanting. The girl was not refusing. Okay, here the you is referring to Catullus, and the puella obviously is Lesbia. I know this normally means to not want, but it can also mean to refuse, and it makes more sense so you don't have like a weird double negative. Okay, which you were wanting, the girl was not refusing, right? So whenever life was happy, both Catullus and Lesbia wanted it to happen. Truly, bright suns shine for you. Okay, again, Tibby here is referring to Catullus. He's like talking to himself. Truly, bright suns, sorry, I said shine before, it should be shone for you, because we have another example here of syncope. Okay, fulsere, fulsere. Okay, so this is him recalling the good times. Okay, I'm going to repeat the entire slide. Okay, miserable Catullus, cease to play the fool, and that which you see to have perished, consider it completely lost. Once bright suns shone for you, when you were going to where the girl was leading. No lover or girlfriend will be loved as much as by us. Then those days were happening with much joking, which you were wanting, the girl was not refusing. Truly, bright suns shone for you. Okay. All right, slide number 2, lines 9 through 13. Okay, this is a funny part because like this is like the section of like self-talk. He's like trying to give himself a pep talk and be like, okay, Catullus, you gotta get it together, man, get it together. Like I imagine him like slapping himself in the face and being like, get it together. Now, that one does not want. Also, you, powerless, refuse. Right here we're talking about Lesbia, and the 2 is Catullus. Okay. Do not follow one who flees, nor live miserable, but endure with a stubborn mind. Be strong. Okay, I'm going to repeat that whole first sentence. Now, that one does not want. You, also powerless, refuse. Do not follow one who flees, nor live miserable. But endure with a stubborn mind and be strong. Right? Abdura. One thing you'll notice, okay, vive, perfer, abdura. All of these are imperatives. It's like he's using this poem to command himself to like get through this. Goodbye, girl. Now Catullus is strong. He will not ask about or look for you. He will not ask for one unwilling. Sorry, I'm joking. He will not ask about one unwilling. He will not look for you. He will not ask about one unwilling. Okay, notice these two verbs are in future tense. Okay, so we have present tense verbs. Okay. Present tense verbs here, imperatives, and future tense. So your verb tenses are all over the place, but they are kind of paired together. You just have to pay close attention. Okay, I'm going to read the whole slide one last time. Now, that one does not want. Also, you, powerless, refuse. Do not follow one who flees, nor live miserable. But endure with a stubborn mind. Be strong. Goodbye, girl. Now Catullus is strong. He will not ask about you. He will not seek you or look for you, nor will he ask about one who is unwilling. Okay, now this is where he begins kind of his like hate against Lesbia. You'll notice your verb tenses here. Bis, beris, manet, bit, beris, bis, aris, bis, bis. Okay, all of these verbs are in future tense. Okay, all of these verbs are in second person. So talking about you. And there's a mixture here of active versus passive. Okay, so keep that in mind. I want to erase this. Erase. There we go. But you will be sad when you will be asked by none. Right? He's saying, like, if you break up with me, no one else is going to like you. Wicked one. Alas for you. What life will remain for you? Who now will approach you? To whom will you seem beautiful? Now, whom will you love? Whose will you say to be? Whom will you kiss? Whose lip will you bite? Okay, I know I went really fast just there, but it's like all the same thing, basically just saying things in just different ways. Okay, so I'll go slowly. But you will be sad when you will be asked by none. Wicked one, alas for you. What life remains for you? Who now will approach you? To whom will you seem beautiful? Whom now will you love? Whose will you say to be? Like, who's going to call you their girlfriend? Whom will you kiss? Whose lip will you bite? And then one more self-talk line. I love this last line. But you, Catullus, determined, be strong. Again, abdura here is another example of an imperative verb. Okay, so he's commanding himself, reminding himself at the end of his poem, like, girl, I don't need you. In fact, without me, what are you going to be? And it's a pretty chastising poem towards her and kind of helps strengthen his own resolve. We're going to read one more poem of Catullus after this, because obviously after their love affair is over, she moves on, and he writes poetry about those men whom she hangs out with after their love is over, and it's pretty entertaining, so we'll read that for fun. But make sure that you are doing everything. Oh, wait. That's right, your grammar quiz. You have a grammar quiz on Wednesday. Sorry, I looked at the front of your packet and thought the grammar quiz was supposed to be on Friday, and then I realized, no, wait, that's today. And you aren't here, but I'm here, so it's okay. Anyways, you should be rereading tons and tons because your chance to shine is on Friday. Valete omnes.